Session review.
Hello and welcome back everyone to a long-awaited video. Took a 4th of July break, but we are now back at it to go over our session 17 review and the end of Cole the Collector. So, as happened in our last session, the team ended up actually defeating not only Cole the Collector, but all of his robots very candidly. Bunny really took charge and took some massive hits and really took out the big destroyer robot that was going to be a menace for them, but hit some great attacks and ended up just kind of dealing with the whole situation pretty easily. No one, people went down, but it was a little hectic. But ultimately, the team really showed they have a good amount of power when it comes to their fighting abilities and proving, hopefully, a little bit to our good friend Riff Silverstring that they might actually have a chance of taking on Dravina when it comes to it. As we're moving, we then saw as the deck of many things was taken by the team, kind of braced over Cole. We have a lot to talk about items that was received by the team from the auction. So many things occurred in that run. And one of those things we got was the deck of many things. We can do a whole lot of random things. You'll see as they come up. As of now, our Diogen has the ability to grant wish once because of pulling a card from the deck of many things, but also Cruel Wrench is now in a combat between an Avatar of Death. So that's how we left the last session. People were celebrating after the defeat of Cole the Collector, which took the vast majority of the time, and also this absolute behemoth of the Avatar of Death has made their way into Cruel Wrench. Now let's get into some of the items we got. So as I said, the deck of many things. This is what led Cruel Wrench to be in a combat, and this is what also led to Diogen being able to cast Wish. But what is the deck of many things? So it is a very powerful deck of cards where the user can announce how many cards they want to draw, and then they have to draw that many cards. These can range from things of essentially not exactly murdering you, but taking your consciousness, transporting it to a different plane of existence, and having no idea how to get to it, just someone random in the world. So essentially killing your character, to giving you wish and making many other magical things happen. So it's a lot crazy. It's very random what's going to happen. So very built-in, very great thing for Diogen, our random aficionado. We also got Takio's armor. This was the fourth most valuable item being sold at the auction. It was taken, shot over to Inu by Cruel Wrench using some bungee gum at the beginning of the combat, so immediately got to put it on. It gives a lot of very good defensive modifiers, as well as allowing Inu to cast Shield, which is an extremely powerful spell, allowing on reaction to gain +5 AC to dodge an attack, so extremely useful. As well, the soul of Takio, one of the best samurais that ever lived, is in this armor, and using Nen, Inu can attempt to talk to this soul and gain strength from it as time goes on. So very interesting stuff. We'll see how that plays out. The Staff of Power was achieved by Cruel Wrench. So again, I kind of messed this page up, but it's already a lot of reading. So Cruel Wrench, you're gonna have to do a good amount. The main benefits of this staff, as I'll say, is you get a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls when using it, and you get a +1 to your armor class, saving throws, and spell rolls just by holding onto the Staff of Power. This is a very powerful item. Should not be given to you at this level of the game, but ChatGPT things, I've kind of tried to nerf it a little bit, but the main thing it has 20 charges. It gains 1d8 +4 charges per day at dawn, and also whenever it runs out of charges, you have to roll a d20. On a 1, it pretty much becomes useless, and on a 20, it gets some more charges back. So you could potentially in a day continuously use it if you keep rolling 20s in that d20. So again, very somewhat complex item. Essentially just gives you a few buffs, and it has a lot of spells that let you do it. So the first one is Power Strike. If you're going to use it, a melee weapon, use it as a melee weapon. You could do a strike to do. You could use a charge to do more damage. Kind of useless. And then you have many spells you can cast. Spells that are way over the level that your person can cast. So we'll see how this goes. If it's too powerful, I might have the staff be destroyed in some way. But you can cast some extremely powerful spells. So I'd urge you to. You'll probably more likely make it so that I'll get rid of it. But you have the ability to essentially single-handedly almost destroy Dravina because of the power that's in this staff. So also it has Retributive Strike, which is where you can just break the staff on your leg and make an explosion occur in the area. So very interesting stuff to see that happen. So super crazy item. Crazy that we have this. I'm happy that ChatGPT cooked it up, but it's wild. So just be prepared. The Infernal Revolvers were taken by our good friend Diogen. So just each revolver can shoot 1d10 damage and a 1d6 fire damage, and also have a misfire rate of 1, which means they're pretty strong. So if they misfire, the gun's jammed, it needs to be fixed by someone or maybe yourself outside of combat. The Ring of Spell Storing was picked up by Bunny. The Ring of Spell Storing is pretty interesting. It allows you to store spells in the ring, so you can still cast them for an action, but assuming you have some days in between, you can cast spells that cost spell slots and then use them the next day without having to use up more spell slots. So essentially gives you more spell slots to work with, but you do have to be intentional on what spells you put into this ring. It can hold up to 5 levels of spells, so a lot of spells can go in here. Really interesting thing to see what will happen with it. The spells still cost actions or whatever they cost. They just don't cost that spell slot cost anymore if you're using them from the ring. And then finally, the Helm of Transportation was picked up also by Inu, and it allows them to use the teleport spell 3 times a day, which essentially allows them to teleport themselves to a different area. So great for Inu, who brings up some of the random people out of the past, just wants to talk to them. So really interesting to see where Inu uses this for. So far, they went back and talked to the lady that had the armor originally, that cute little Japanese lady, and she gave a little bit of context on what the armor is all about. So we'll see if more stuff like that happens. Not really sure, but great item for Inu to have. So sorry, kind of grazed over Cole the Collector, but I wanted to make sure I got this out. Been thinking about a lot, and these new items are all here, so please be ready to have a fun time next time, where the team will be getting ready to try and learn a little bit about this concept of Nen defense. Essentially, Dravina is way too powerful, and they now realize that they're going to need to take a step back and try to get some defensive abilities to fight against her extreme Nen powers. So really excited to see how they go with that. Should be a really fun session. Super excited to have you guys there, and thank you for watching as always.